Yes, my friends. The last matchup got fans excited, but there are a few things we need to look into in order to get to the long-awaited Super Bowl. Honestly, I really want the Falcons to make it to the Super Bowl, but can we hold on to the results until then? I need to hear from you, and at the end, I want you to leave your opinion on this. Before we continue, make sure you've already hit the like button if you believe we have the ability to make it to the next Super Bowl. And comment like this: I believe, go Falcons! The Atlanta Falcons are atop the NFC South with a 3-2 record, and fans, that's pretty good. But there's a big question hanging over the horizon. Are we legitimate contenders, or are we fooling ourselves? Well, NFL.com weighed in on this debate, and his analysis might surprise you. NFL.com's Kevin Patrick gave the Falcons his seal of approval as contenders. That's right. Despite years of heartbreak and nail-biting finishes, it looks like the Falcons are finally on the right track. Patrick even acknowledges our epic history of, well, falconing. You know, those moments when it seems like we have the game in the bag, only to have it turn into a horror show. Sound familiar? But guess what? So far this season, we flipped the script. In 3 of our wins this season, the Falcons have come out on top despite the odds. Our opponents had at least an 84% chance of winning in the fourth quarter, including the Eagles, who had a 97.6% chance of winning. But we made some big plays when it mattered most. Now, you know we love to keep things interesting here in Atlanta. Patra points out that Kirk Cousins has been a part of some of the most up-tempo games, and this season has been no different. But his ability to throw the ball into tight windows, even in critical moments, has been a game-changer for us. And let's not forget our defense, which has had its moments of brilliance. Sure, the numbers may not look flashy, ranked 18th in total defense and 20th in scoring defense, but this unit excelled when it mattered most. In every game, the defense made crucial stops in the fourth quarter, giving Cousins the ball back and giving us a chance to win. Patra isn't just banking on Cousins, he's banking on Raheem Morris' defense. With big names like Jesse Bates III, Justin Simmons, A.J. Terrell, and Grady Jarrett, there's enough talent to make this defense formidable. And back-to-back division wins? That doesn't hurt our case either. Speaking of defense, head coach Raheem Morris gave us some important updates this week. Cornerback D. Alford is still in concussion protocol after getting hurt in the win over the Buccaneers, and linebackers Troy Anderson and Nate Landman are recovering. Anderson, who has excelled this season with 41 tackles and an NFC Defensive Player of the Week award, is day-to-day with a knee injury. Landman, on the other hand, is starting to practice again after being on injured reserve. That's good news considering we need all the depth we can get in the linebacker room. If we're serious about being a contender, we've got to take care of business this weekend. This is a crucial game for Atlanta. If we win, we're looking at a 4-2 record and sitting pretty in the division. But if we let Carolina get by us, we're back in the middle of the pack. This team has turned the falconing into a positive this year, showing resilience in the toughest of times. But the real test comes when we face teams we expect to beat. Enough with the belittling of our competitors. So, Falcons Nation, it's time to dream big. Can we keep this momentum going? Are we truly contenders this year, or are we setting ourselves up for heartbreak in the future? Can we finally shake off the falconing curse and make a real run at the playoffs? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you believe in this Falcons team? Now, let's talk about our offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, and the impressive growth he's shown in his first year calling the shots. There's been a lot of buzz about how Robinson has been learning from each game, especially the losses, and it's starting to pay off for our Falcons. We all remember Week 1, right? It was tough. Kirk Cousins only got 1 snap under center, and the internet was buzzing with questions about whether he was fully healthy. It wasn't the start we wanted, but the important thing here is how Robinson responded. In Week 2, Cousins came out firing under center. The Falcons leaned heavily on the run game, and we used play action to perfection. The result? A last-second game-winning touchdown by Drake London. No tricks, no gimmicks, just smart, straightforward football. Something we didn't see much of last year. Fast forward to Week 3, and we're starting to see a trend. Cousins is back under center, the play action is working, and the offense is utilizing all of its weapons. We even saw a brilliant fake screen for Robinson that left Drake London wide open for a touchdown. It was a chef's kiss of a play call. Kyle Pitts also had a big catch and run, and while the offense was moving well, we weren't finding the end zone as often as we would have liked. Now, let's talk about what wasn't perfect in Week 3. First, there was a bit of an over-reliance on Robinson. Don't get me wrong, he's a beast, but against the Chiefs, he was limited to just 1.9 yards per carry. Meanwhile, Tyler was averaging 4.6 yards per carry on just 7 attempts. We also saw a lot of wide receiver screens that weren't working, especially with Ray McCloud, who, at 5'9", shouldn't be leading the offense as a blocker on those plays. But here's where it gets interesting. Robinson learned from this. In Week 4, he cut back on those wide receiver screens, and we saw being used more in key moments. That's the kind of adjustment we love to see. Having two great running backs and gives us the flexibility to mix things up, and Robinson is starting to figure out when and how to make those calls. Sure, the offense struggled a bit with penalties in Week 4, but that's not Robinson's fault. We saw a screen attempt for a touchdown get called back due to holding, and a 4-TH-1 attempt was ruined by a false start. Despite those setbacks, the Falcons still managed to put up over 300 yards of offense and average over 6 yards per play. The big takeaway here? Robinson is learning, he's adjusting, and our offense is getting better every week. Now, let's talk about Week 5, the game where it all came together. Kirk Cousins threw for an incredible 509 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yes, you heard that right, 509 yards. That's the most by any QB this season and the most since Joe Burrow in 2021. The Falcons scored 36 points, a number we haven't seen since 2022, and every offensive weapon was involved. Drake London had a career-high 12 receptions, Darnell Mooney added 105 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Kyle Pitts had his best game since his rookie year, racking up 7 catches for 88 yards. What's impressive here is how Robinson has clearly learned from each game. Last week, Pitts had 0 receptions, but Robinson has made adjustments, and Pitts had a big catch and run early in the game. It's these small adjustments that show Zach Robinson is growing as a play caller, and Falcons fans, you've got to love that. Now, we haven't seen the offense fully click in both the running and passing game. But with a tough Carolina defense coming up, this could be the perfect opportunity for the Falcons to showcase a fully functional offense. So what do you think, Falcons fans? Are you impressed with Zach Robinson's growth as an offensive coordinator? Do you think we'll see a full-fledged defensive performance anytime soon? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Falcons. We have a lot to look forward to this season, and I can't wait to see where Robinson takes this offense next. See you in the next video. Go Falcons!